So today we are starting with Git. Git is a version control system. This is a software that manages the changes to files over time. So in entire history of the files, whatever changes they go through, Git will manage the entire process. So it can track all the changes. So if there are old or new versions, the files, it will manage them. It can revisit old versions, make the changes, undo the changes. There are many version control systems. Git is the most popular one. So entire history of all the files, Git can manage, go back to old versions and compare and share them with others. Like add a checkpoint to whenever we make changes to a file, start a new project. So we make some changes to some files and we go to come back to that point. We save that, add a checkpoint. So there are a lot of things we can do with Git. So install that, and this is primarily a software that we run on a terminal or command prompt. So while installing this, we have this Git bash for Windows. So here we see this. Now we have to configure this with a name and email. So we use this git config global user.name. We set the name and a real email ID. And then we also download this graphical user interface for this called Git Kraken. There are many GUIs for this. We download this, and here we can create Git repositories. So here we are in a terminal, and now there are many controls inside a terminal that we can do inside terminal. For example, when we type this ls, it will display all the folders and files that we have currently in that folder that we are in the directory that we are in. So we are in the users directory. So this will display all the files and folders whatever inside this. Then this start dot, we type this, open the folder here on the current directory here. We can navigate in that from here. Then in ls we can type a folder or some else directory, some other directory, and we can go to inside that, display that also. So we just put the path, and then we can this bwd. So this will tell us the current directory that we are in. So we are in the user directory. So this will display that. And then we can use this cd, which is change directory, to go to some other directory, and we put the name here. We go into that. and then this cd dot dot, this will give us back the home directory. So we are in the home directory now. And then this is the navigation part. We can also create files inside this terminal from inside here. Any type of file, for example, we are in the home directory, we have to use this touch, we write touch, and then we give the name of the file and dot type of the file. For example, red.txt text file, and then purple dot a pdf file. So when we see type ls, we see both of these files displayed here. Similarly, to make a new folder, we have this mkdir. We type this and the name that we want to give to a folder. So we have this folder colors created here. Now we can go inside that new folder also, and we can create files there also. Create an HTML file inside that folder. So display that there is one file inside it. Now to delete a file, use this rm. For example, we want to delete both the text files. We come back on the directory and we delete them using so they are deleted from here. And then to delete a folder, we use this rm and then rf. Then we give the name of the folder. Now we have something called a repository. Repository in Git is like a workspace that will track and manage all the files and folders that we create for Git. So in whichever folder we want to create the Git workspace and work with Git, we have to create a repository there. So inside that only we will have all the files that we have to manage with Git. And we can have multiple repositories, but there is this thing that in one folder only one Git repository has to be there. So we can have multiple repositories in one folder, so that we one workspace per folder. So for example, we have all these folders, create these Git repositories to work with Git in those folders. So we are in the home directory, type this git status. So this will tell that it is not a Git repository because we have not created a repository yet. So we will create a new folder and we see that it is not a repository, and we type git init. This will initialize a repository for us, an empty repository, and then we type git status. So since we are in a home directory still, we didn't go to there. So this created a git repository in the home directory only. So we type git status. Now it says no commits yet. These are the untracked files. So we created an empty repository, but have not used commit and add, which will talk later. So these are all the files with changes that are untracked. So now we create a repository inside of the folder. Now we initialize the repository. Now we see ls. We don't have any file or anything inside of that, so this will not display anything. But we type ls and then with space some a. This will show us a hidden folder dot git. We can use this a to display the hidden folders if we have any. So it will display the dot git. So now this dot git is has the entire information of the git repository of this. So if we delete this, the entire git repository information will be deleted from this folder. So we see that inside this dot git we have certain these default files. It will have many more after we make some changes more to this. So now we can delete that folder, and then we see we don't have. After deleting, we don't have. We will not have the repository also. So now we create a new folder, my novel, and we create a file. For example, we for writing a novel, we create a new outline file, outline for the novel. But first we delete the and first we initialize on the git repository here inside this folder, and then we create a new file outline and another file for characters, both text files. Now we see we have repository initialized, but we don't have any commits yet, so this will give this. These are two untracked files, and like we saw before, that was for entire home directory. This is for this folder we have two files that are untracked. So we have something called add and commit. A commit is like creating the checkpoints. So whatever we changes we make to one file or many files, we can add a checkpoint to all those changes and give a message. For example, these are the checkpoints that we add: initialize project, add, never add first row. So these are not like saving a file. We can have changes to multiple files and then we can just add a checkpoint. A commit we can make, or we can make multiple commits for certain selected files also. So we are taking a snapshot of a Git repository at a particular time. So for example, this is a commit. There are multiple different files, and whatever changes we make to those, we commit and save those changes. So here now, first we have to add. This is in two stages. First we can use add. So this add, then we see status will tell changes to be committed in this file. So this will add the file to a staging changing stage. For example, if we make changes to these different files. For example, if we delete a file, modify a file, create a new file. So these are all changes to the files. We have to commit them all. So this is like the stages. So working directory, we have whatever the changes we make. After that, we use git add to go into a staging area. This is the a place that we keep them to then commit, and then we have the repository with committing. So we put them in staging area and then commit. So we use this git add and put the file name with file type enter. This is in stage and this is still untracked. Then add this also. Both of them changes to be committed, and then we use this git commit dash and start and then give the message inside of this quotation marks. So the two files changed with this message. Now we see git status. We don't see anything uncommitted. Now if we make some changes, so this is the folder that we have made. These are the files and this is the .git file. So then we make some changes, so this will display that modified outline.txt, and then we will create a new chapter 1 for example. So this is still untracked, so we can add them together also by using this space. And this is new file, this is modified file. We can commit, for example, starting on chapter 1, two files changed and one insertion and one modified. So we have this git log that we can use to get the entire log history of the folder over git repository. So we have made just two changes till now. So we have this starting the work, starting with chapter 1, both of these messages are displayed here. We have this commit ID, date, and the author, and the name and email that we put up here. So this is the information. This will be very big in the future. In a folder, if we make a lot of changes. Now again, we made changes to both are modified. So we can use this git and just dot to commit to give all the files that we have made changes to add to the staging area. All of them together. Usually we want to add a certain files. For example, these are all the files. For example, we put these three together in one commit and all these navbar ones in another commit. So this is something called atomic committing. Atomic committing means one type of files we put them in one commit. So this is like the smallest unit of a commit. We put all similar type of files in one single commit. And we can have multiple commits at the same time. For example, this modified, we give the name message finish chapter 1. So in the log we see three changes now. So this is add and commit.